Get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Lord.
Here, is everybody grabbing an agenda? I do want to point out that I do owe everybody a copy of the program of projects. I was hoping to get that out yesterday, and then here we are. I will get that out to you today between my two meetings. Do we have any public comments? Nobody signed in. Do we have anybody that must? I don't see anybody that wants to give public comment, so we will move on. Again, the program projects, we did have one project that slipped from 2026. So I'm trying to fill that void, that excess that we have. That's, I think we're right around 4.5, but again, I will share that to you, but I'm trying to fix that extra funds for 2026. And then there's lots of projects in 27 and 28 that we need to move out. So, again, I'm still working on that, so thank you. Oh yeah, minutes, thank you. I've been reminded that we skipped number 2, the meeting minutes.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Are there any comments? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. Thank you, Candace. Again, like this, going back to the program of projects, so I'm trying to balance out 26. Probably get some PE funding or right-of-way funding and move it from 27 to 26 to fill out that balance 27 and 26. And then we'll go from there.
How much was that?
In 26 right now, it looks like we're 4.5 million over, or under. So I don't know how we're, what, I'm working on that. So
Just
again,
ask
I'll
if
share that with everybody today.
Keep PE on phase 4 in mind, if you would.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. And actually under 5.6, I have another topic to add to that, which could help on that too, which I've been looking into lately. Under new business, local quarterly meetings, like I said, there was some reshuffling of projects. I had one project that was in 26 that got moved out to, it looks like it's going to be in 2031 for now, because I don't have any place to put it. I do try to work with you guys on just moving it 1 or 2 years, but in this case, this was, well, it was a $3.6 million project or something like that. So that can't go in 26 because of right of way. So I'm trying to
Which one was it?
It's in Gary. So, there's some right-of-way issues, which I just keep that in mind. Those are the consultants in here. Just keep that in mind that right-of-way is just right-of-way and environmental. The schedule is not our friend anymore. So we'll try to get PE going sooner so that there's more time to take care of the right-of-way issues, and who knows, maybe we can help that with 26.
I don't have much time left, Charles.
So, we're not gonna address that comment.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and like I said, going through, I did get, at the quarterly meetings, we did have 12 projects that I had at high risk. So we were able to mitigate most of that and most of those risks were just, we didn't have a good estimate, or your town council, your city mayor, I didn't know if they were on board with the projects in some of the cases, so that's what when I put those at high risk, that's why they were at high risk. Quarterly meetings, we did get a lot of those taken care of. So there are still some projects, but I'm trying to mitigate those as much as obviously as we can. We have a data bike. MACOG has a data bike, which is basically a bicycle with a camera on it and a GPS monitor on it. It gives you a Pacer rating for the bike paths, and it videos the bike path that it's on, gives you the Pacer rating, shows you the condition. So we'll be hopefully bringing that out later this fall, I think. But that's a Mitch. So just keep in mind that this year, or especially next year, we'll be borrowing MACOG's data bike, and we will be working on the bike paths and video so that everybody has a good, consistent review of the bike paths in your communities.
Do you know what MACOG paid for it?
No, I don't. With the data bikes, it's not a bike that comes, it's just it's an e-bike. But you have to kind of put it together using your own stuff. So you got to buy the e-bike, and then you buy the iPad, and then you buy a camera, and you kind of fashion it together.
My
So
question was leading to, if we find this of value when we borrow it, if the cost isn't too big, it might be something we want to invest in ourselves. So we've got it because we've got a lot of mileage trails now, and we're building more every year.
right, yeah. So that's a good idea. I mean, I would say that NERC, maybe we could work out a deal with the community that we could look at that the next NOVA.
What class is it?
It's less than 4
Okay.
because there's only 3 classes. So I have no idea. I have never seen a bike. I'm guessing it's going to be maybe a class 2 with a throttle on it. That way you could get the pedaling wouldn't affect. You wouldn't have to pedal. But
I'm
enough, that's kind of what it's at. You get mics.
So,
So can we just like sign up for a list to rent it for like a couple weeks or something?
we have a new, I think NERC's going to be running. So, it would be someone like Mitch or,
That's right, the trails.
Ishta? Ishan. We have a new, person doing data collection. Started 2 weeks ago. So Ishan is his name. And so we'd either be one of those two. I might try to get out there on a bike, but we'll see. So,
So it'll be more of like you contact us when you're in our community.
yes. And yeah, and then if you want to come out and ride with us, so to speak, and you can see what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And on the camera, or we can share that with you afterwards. We'll definitely share it with you afterwards. I don't think this is something, because it's not our bike,
Yes, they have
we're gonna be loaning out to anybody and everybody. But yes, we did, we were, at one time in the past, we did have some funds set aside but there was an issue getting the bike or something like that. So I think it was during COVID or something where we planned on doing it and Mitch had some issues getting the bike, so he never got the bike. So, but we're gonna use Maycogs at least for next year. So that'll be good that we can.
Typically, you can't move too fast with a piece of equipment, maybe 1 mile an hour to do the reading. But,
Hey guys, just, Maycogs is on here as demonstrations of how they use it. If you go out and look at it, they put it on PBS. So it actually has a whole thing about the bike and what it looks like and how it's operated and what it does on the trail. So if you need to look that up, you might be able to get a better idea of what its capabilities are.
That's the one you'll be borrowing?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Um, 5.3 Indiana State Bill number 5. I believe most of you have heard about this at the quarterly meetings. But I just want to reiterate that starting in 2026, it gives the State Board of Accounts the authority to close any PO that has not had any activity on it in 90 days. Right now, NDOT has that authority to close it if it has no activity in 6 months. And generally, it's 7 to 9 months before they close it. So, but if this, and NDOT is not in favor of this, but the State Board of Accounts did get it pushed through the legislature. So, something to keep in mind that you should be submitting your claims to NDOT on a regular basis.
that was for 90 days.
90 days, yeah.
Charles, is it 60 or 90 days?
It's 90 days.
Is it?
Yeah. At least that's what Marcy was telling us.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Yeah.
I'll double check. But I know they did change it.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind. And it may be where you put in a claim for half the amount and then the next month you put in for the other half, just to kind of stretch things out if you know you're getting towards the end or something like that. If there's not being a whole lot of movement on the project, whether it's PE or right away.
Do you know if that will allow that? Just because when we submit ours, we have to submit like a claim, like the invoice back up.
So this is coming from someone above NDOT. This has come from the State Board of Accounts. And it could be for anything too. So, and actually, NERC submits their claims to NDOT every 90 days. So, if the question is how strict are they going to be on this 90-day thing? Because when that comes through, Marcy and Brianne don't have the say whether or not they want to close it or not. It's just close it, and they just following orders at that point. So something to keep in mind. If you do expect that there's going to be a lag, please let Marcy or Brianne know so that they can put a note in there. And if there is going to be a lag, sometimes the hopes is that that should suffice and they'll let it go for another month or two. But just keep in mind that if you're not putting in claims monthly or bi-month, every other month, then it could be detrimental. And then you'd be coming to NERC and asking for additional funds, which I'm not sure is completely legal, because then we're stepping over the 80% mark. So I'm afraid, I'm kind of wondering that if someone at Federal Highway may come back and say, no, you can't give them more PE money because you already gave them more PE money, and now you're giving them more PE money. You gave them the 80% on PE, and if you give more money, then you're going over the 80%. So it's something to keep in mind. I don't know if Federal Highway ever say anything like that, but plus it's just that money just disappears, so we lose that money. 5.4, alternative fuel vehicles. A bunch of you have been waiting for alternative fuel vehicles. If you have vehicles coming in, get with Ryan Lissek. He's supposed to be getting with everybody. I know there were 20 communities that were getting alternative fuel, like Lightnings, or Chevy's got a Blazer, I think. A lot of the police departments were getting also. So get with Ryan on that, because first off, that's $7,500 rebate is no longer in effect after next week, after this weekend actually. So get with Ryan Lissek. We were trying to go through Lake Station. We can't do that. So we are going to now just give individual DES numbers to all the communities that are getting electric vehicles. And you cannot go from electric to other alternative fuel vehicles. So you can't go from electric to propane or propane to electric. You can go propane to CNG to clean diesel, but you can't go to electric or go from electric to those vehicles. Just something to keep in mind. That's the way the rules are. I don't know how they figured that out, but we've had that question come up, and we can't do that. But the electric vehicles, we are working out. I do have a huge amount of money going to our electric vehicles this year, so we should be able to get those for any of the communities that want them, and that are wanting to get them. So get with Ryan Lissick at Drive Clean Indiana, so he can, we can work out the list and how many vehicles you wanted or needed. Most of the communities were only getting 1 or 2 or 3. A couple are getting, I know Holbert was getting 14 or 16 or something like that. East Chicago was getting 14 or 16. Border wanted 7. So we do have that. We'll get those straightened out and give everybody their own DES number. Lake Station was gonna buy it, but then they have to retain the title. And obviously you can see where that's gonna come into, could be detrimental because then they're giving you the vehicle and retaining the title, so they're not wanting to do that, obviously. Everything else, Drive Clean Indiana is going to take care of. I mean, they're going to take care of any. You've got to make sure that you got to do monthly inspections on them or something like that, or yearly inspections. Drive Clean Indiana is going to do that. They're going to take care of all the paperwork. So again, get with Ryan. If you have an electric vehicle that you're wanting to purchase, and we'll get that taken care of. So, CCMG update, as most of you know, that there's only one CCMG this year, and there's only going to be, going forward, there's only going to be 1 community crossings matching grant going forward annually. There have been in the past, there's been 2, but the governor and the legislator are trying to cut back on some costs, and so now they're only going to do 1. It also coming down to, I think they had raised it to 1.5 million was the max you could get, but I think they're lowering it back down to 1 million. So this year, I think it's in August. What's that? October, thank you. But then every year it's going to be in July. So starting in fiscal year 2027, which is July of 26, that's when so keep that in mind. It's the state of where we are, so keep that in mind. Any questions on anything, just please raise your hand. The next one, other new business. I've been informed the USDOT is they sent out a bulletin. They're kind of resurrecting the transportation infrastructure funding. There's a program, I can't remember the name. I tripped over it yesterday afternoon, and I tried to do a deeper dive as time would allow. But it sounds like for larger projects, and I'm thinking about Kennedy Avenue and Willow Creek, you can take out a loan for the county's portion, or I mean for the sponsor's portion, I should say, from the USDOT. It's a low interest loan. I don't know what low interest means. I don't know anything about it other than, like I said, you can take a low interest loan out, and then you have 5 years to complete the project or complete that phase, and then both those projects are already moving on, are doing pretty good, but it has to be a regionally significant project. It doesn't sound like there's any limit on PE or right-of-way, so you can use it for that. And these loans also have, depending on the size and depending what you can negotiate, a 45 to 75 year repayment. So that'll be nice, because if you're taking a $5 million loan and you have 30 years to pay it off, that makes it very easy to digest. So they've had this since 2012. This program's been around, but it hasn't been advertised. But with the new administration, they're trying to get some of these projects sparked and get them going. As well as they're trying to cut out some of the environmental requirements and so on and so forth to spur this movement in the projects. Lastly, I think we are in the final stages of choosing road safety projects for the road safety audits. We did get 15 applications. 3 of them were corridors, so we're trying to figure out how to do corridors. Many of you submitted several projects. So we are, like I said, we've got those plugged into Road Hat, and we've got those ranked in, looks like we have a list going forward, but there are some corridors on there, so we're trying to figure out a way around those, because a corridor could eat up all of them, all the money. So I don't know if we want to do a whole corridor, probably not. But we could do 1 or 2 intersections on a corridor. There are some that are on NDOT roads, so I'm going to reach out to NDOT probably today or tomorrow and get their comments on it, see if they're already doing something. One of them was, I was looking at, it was 231, was one of the corridors St. John had proposed. And of course, NDOT's already working on 231. Another one was US 41, so there's several different opportunities, so we should be getting started with, after Labor Day, getting with the sponsors and scheduling. We'll do a teams meeting first, like we did last year, to kind of go over all the projects with our consultants, and then they will schedule going out in the fields and getting traffic counts, getting turning movements, as well as, and then we'll meet out in the field and do like we did last year, and discuss all the intersections, and well, do a field check. So, anything else? Nothing. Crickets. Okay. Then we will have an adjournment. Our next meeting will be November 18th at 9 a.m. here. So if I could get a motion.
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Good info today.
Yes, like I said, I'll get I will get the programmer projects out.